All right, good morning guys. It's Nick with NK Landscaping again as usual. We are back on a familiar project that we finished not too long ago. Some things have changed here and now we're going to be doing some additions. Might look a little different here. So this is the place where we installed the double patio around the pool. You can see they got the fence now. And there's quite a bit more landscaping. Everything's looking good. They relocated the door there. They completely took off the door from the deck that we installed. You finally got some grass growing in. But you may notice a breezeway. That's kind of interesting, huh? That entrance was never there. So this client, when they moved into this house, that used to be a garage, and they turned it into an apartment for her daughter. And the town said, you can't do that without putting in a breezeway. It needs to be a connected building. So you've got this huge 60+ foot breezeway to connect the living quarters so that they are connected. Why that makes any sense, who knows? She wanted our job of the patio done before this breezeway was in because access concerns, getting materials in and out of this is just a pain. So we did all that work prior. Now that the breezeway is in, what needs to happen? Well, first of all, we're going to need a walking path to connect this house to the apartment over there. So we're going to do the same things we have over here, the curve right edging with a 3/8 gravel in between. Then the contractors built this temporary step just to get into this house. This is going to get replaced with a natural stone. So luckily we already had that delivered. You can see here, the client picked this out. So this is a really nice looking natural stone. These are ranging anywhere from like 4 to 6 inches thick. So we're gonna get those stacked up in here to make kind of like a natural step into the house. Then our path, and I think we're going to throw 1 or 2 steps down there on that door. So the first thing here, I already did one, but these are like some porcelain tiles, I assume for the inside of the house. I got to get these out of the way so I can access our stones. And the biggest thing with our stones is that we need to pull them out one by one. You can see how it's bending the steel rest down. They are heavy. We need to one by one pull those stones out to kind of sort them, see what stone is best for what place. With these natural stones, they're not all the same. Man, this is heavy. Try to twist it a little bit. But yeah, we have to sort those stones to figure out what makes the most sense in what spot. You can't just start from the bottom or the one side of the pallet and work towards the other. You actually have to kind of sort them and figure out what stone looks the best in what spot. So we're going to do that here in a second. Just going to get these out of my way. I'm going to put them over here, and maybe at the end we'll move them back. I'm not really sure where they're using those. The delivery guy just put them right in our way. So let's pull our pallet out, and what I'm probably going to do is take those stones off one by one, and we'll lay them out either on the driveway, on the grass or something, so we can figure out exactly what we got to work with here. So we got everything sorted out now. Maybe you can see now why we do this. None of these are the same. And we kind of sorted them by most desirable to least desirable. You got a couple of the pieces over here that are quite small, and that'll work better. We really only need one step up on this side, but over here it's almost 2 feet that we got to climb. So yeah, this is where my base model excavator brain stops working and Kurt gets going. This is his type of thing. His brain works very well piecing these pieces together. So he's going around, he measured everything and wrote on there the sizes. And now he's gonna basically in his head puzzle this together, and then we gotta install our base stone first, but we'll get everything installed up in here and get stacking like Jenga blocks basically. So, well, we're back with the goods. Kurt wanted to pick up some type S mortar. He feels that these stones should have some mortar in between them, especially where they overlap, to keep them from rocking, and I'm going to tend to agree on that. We'll see. But anyway, he's going to take these stairs out of here, and then I'll hop on the whacker, and we'll make sure that this is nice and packed in place. We don't want these settling. And then we can start putting in our 3/8 and getting this all set up to put our stairs in place. I know it might not look too different, but this area is compacted now. It was actually pretty sturdy. I raked around this 3/8 that was here. You can see in this area it kind of got pounded into the ground, but it is quite sturdy. The jumping jack barely settled it at all. But now we're going to get the laser level set up. We're shooting for 16 inches below that red line you might be able to see. Each one of the stairs is roughly 4 inches. We're going to do 4 total stairs, and that means our base needs to come up pretty close to that 6-inch mark. So we'll get that set, and we'll get our base 3/8 stone in here, and then we can actually start getting those first base steps assembled and trying to piece them together. So you can see now we have our base prepped. We're going for like a pyramid style construction that's going to be wider at the base. That's all been packed and leveled. hope you got to see a good install of what we have so far. So everything is currently dry laid. We have our 2 front stones, and then we put some stones in as filler. Everything's level. We're gonna pick this top stone up off of here, and Kurt, who's been just standing over here holding this bag of mortar, we're gonna mortar all these joints, and then we can slap this top stone back on, add a little bit of mortar if it needs it to. It's got a little bit of a rock right now, so get some mortar in, and then we can go for the next course. Do another round of filler stones and repeat the process again. So I know it looks like nothing has changed, but that block has come off. Everything has been mortared, and we basically put like a mortar ring around this step so that it doesn't rock. It's fully leveled, and when that mortar hardens, this thing will be glued down. What we need now is a filler piece to fit under here so we can stack our next stone on top. And Kurt wants to use this guy because he's not really great for anything else. So I'm going to make a cut down the center, and we'll use one of the halves as a filler, and then I believe that is the next piece to be installed on top of that. So we've got the machine all parked up for the night. I just always big on that, putting everything away and making it safe. Anyway, here's where we got to. Top step is in. The step that we originally wanted for that top step, the one with my lunchbox, actually the one with my water bottle on top of it, well, I made the cut and the thing cracked in half. It had a crack in it from the pallet, so we swapped to a different one. It's not as nice looking, but it does the job, and we still get that pyramid shape. Kurt is going to add some smaller pieces to fill this side out tomorrow. That's just a temporary guy, but otherwise this is done. Hopefully nobody walks on it tonight, and then tomorrow we will be back to install the other step, put the little pieces in, and then hopefully start the edging. So we're back this morning, day 2. That stair set is looking pretty good. We've brought a couple extra things with us, some extra stones for Kurt to play with, our roll of fabric and edging. That's not all the edging, we're just waiting on some extra to come in today. I'm going to try to cut this to see, it's a candidate between this guy, the side on this side, that as this step, or the one that we have here already. This one looks okay, it's a little small. Not sure how we feel about it, but we're going to cut this other one and see how it looks. And because you only need one step to go into there, but I'm going to cut this, and then once that's in place, we're going to start getting some of our edging in. It's going to follow the breezeway exactly. So Kurt's working on edging out the master steps. I got to go run out to get the gravel for the walkway, and then once I get back, we'll roll out our fabric and we can start spreading gravel with the edging. So I'm back with a honking load of a 3/4 inch washed gravel. This is as close to river rock as you can get. This is a serious load. I asked for 6 tons and he gave me almost 7, so nice. What we need to do is, there's going to be an entrance to the driveway in between these two. This is like it's not the whole middle of the whole breezeway, but it's the middle of the driveway section here. So we're going to put a little T in. I got to grade that out because it's a little too high. And then we can install our edging and fill it with this good gravel stuff. So let me hop in the excavator, get that smoothed out. So we got everything graded out with a nice slope to our left. Our step is in here, and we're going to start by installing our edging now on top of the FX80 fabric. So what we're going to do, we don't have enough edging on site to do everything. We're going to start on this far right side. This should be an uninterrupted line from that stair straight over to that stair with a couple little bends in it. This side's going to have the jog for the driveway, but let's focus on this one side and get putting the stuff together. So we ran out of edging. We got to the end of the straight run without that turn. We're having a lot of trouble getting these stakes into the ground, and it's causing the edging to wobble quite a bit. So I think a big reason is because this used to be the driveway, so we're standing on driveway base, which is super compact. But aside from that, even over there, well, technically this was all driveway, so never mind. It's mostly all driveway. What I found was working was if you take the SDS hammer and poke the bit through the ground prior to putting the stake in. It takes a lot of extra time, but it was working. I just don't have a long enough SDS bit, so I think I'm gonna make a custom little thing since we're done so early today. I'm gonna go home and work on that, and maybe that will help us drive these stakes in, and the rest of the edging should be here tomorrow. So, all right, good morning, guys. Day 3. We got our new shipment of curve right, so that should be enough to finish the job. This is all our scraps, some more stakes, and I'm back with a vengeance today. Last night I went home, I made this attachment for the SDS. So this was a rebar pounder or a nail pounder that fits in the SDS. Used to be a lot longer, and it would go around a piece of rebar. You could drive that into the ground, but I made a notch in it, and basically this fits over the top of one of these stakes and allows me to drive it in with, instead of a bunch of hammer hits which end up bending the stake over, these are just a bunch of micro vibrations that kind of walk the stake into the ground, and it's working. I just tested it out. So I'm going to try to get what I couldn't get in yesterday in, and then we're going to work on the other side, and hopefully that'll help us pound these stakes into the ground without bending them. We just stopped for a quick water break and a battery charging break. You can see we got our flare here. That looks good. It's kind of hovering off the ground because there's a bit of a lump, and I was able to get some of these in. You can see they're all kind of sticking up. It is hard ground here just because this is driveway base that we're going into. This angle looks pretty good. I think it's a little wider here than we want it, but it'll work. Okay, it's coming along. The edging is done. It has a little bit of a twist and wiggle to it, but we will straighten that out. We will straighten that out once we get our river rock in. Flare to the driveway looks good. All the angles look good. It's tough when you're working with this. You see all the imperfections, but we'll try our best to straighten all that out once we have some backfill. But I'm gonna hop in the excavator and start loading some rock. So far, the client's happy with everything installed. She just wants to add in, we're gonna do a 90, and then we're gonna inset those stones in the ground. So instead of an edging transition to the lawn, it'll be gravel to on top of those stones and then lawn. Reason for that is so that if she was rolling a wheelbarrow or a tractor or something, she could drive over that Same with here you go from rock to driveway. There's no transition, but if you had to drive over the edging would get all screwed up. So 90 degree right to the rock, 90 degree right to the rock, and then we'll inset those so that the rock and the grass are at the same height. Well guys, as far as the quoted project goes, we are done. What it looks like is going to happen, we're going to be coming back to dig this out and put compost in from house to house. So this will all be set up to do some plantings. I guess her end goal is to put bushes in between each post and clematis on each post to climb the post. And then while we're here doing that, we're also going to be bringing in some topsoil to fill in where the old driveway used to be, fill this in, and then backfill on this side of all the edging. So this will actually be finished. All right, I told you guys we'd be back. We are going to be doing the stoop addition to add that step, and the topsoil and compost work to finish this project off. The big thing here, so this was the stoop we installed. We have one step up to the stoop, and then by our calculations there was an additional even step up to the doorway, basing that height off of the old door. You may notice the new door is in. This used to be that picture overhang window. That's all gone, so that's awesome. The step here is a little too tall now, so what we're going to do is take apart this patio section and put another stoop section, stair section in. You know in movies and video games they always talk about the keystone?
Oh, you're talking
Yeah, I'm talking to you. You know how they always talk about the keystone?
Yeah.
It's real. You have to have one out, and then once you get the one out, you can just kind of pull the rest of them apart. That glue is strong. It really is. It was a bit of a workout to get that thing off of there, mainly just because I don't want to pull up this or this one. There's no need to pull those up, but you have to separate that poly sand joint on both sides, plus the 3 glue lines, and we use a lot of glue. We want to make sure our stuff doesn't go anywhere. So let's get this patio pulled out of here, or this stoop, or whatever you want to call it, and then we can start setting our Concord blocks in here to make our next step. So all the coping is glued and the 1/4 inch is to level. So now we have to start kind of piecing this back together. Like I said, it got quite a bit smaller now, as you can see, so we should have excess pavers, and Kurt's just gonna kind of lay them in here. We're gonna have to make a bunch of cuts and trims to get it to fit, but otherwise it's looking good. That's what we're going for. You can see the height is basically gonna bring us right to the lip of that door. Well, that's a wrap on that one. That's I guess it's the way it's supposed to have looked, but looks good. You can now enter it from 3 sides. Probably have to do a little bit of poly filling tomorrow after this initial batch has dried. Otherwise, tomorrow we're going to be working on the dirt around the breezeway, so I'll see you then. All right, good morning, everybody. Back for, I don't know what day we're on. Doesn't really matter at this point anymore. We're gonna start by digging out along the house here. So we're basically gonna come up with this roughly 5-foot width. We're gonna take that all the way back to this apartment and all the way to the house. We're gonna dig this down for a total depth of somewhere between 6 and 8 inches. It's gonna be kind of bowl-shaped. And then this is all gonna get replaced with a compost soil because she wants to do some plantings here. So that's gonna look good. So I'm gonna dig that out, load it in the dump trailer. So everything's dug out. We actually went a little deeper. We're probably about a foot below grade in the middle, and then it kind of bowl shapes. We didn't want to undermine the driveway or our edging. So same thing over here. That's all the way down to the house. So what we're gonna do now, we just hauled out the load of junk that went to Kurt's house for his fill area he's doing. This is 5 yards of compost material, so this will be much better to plant in. So I'm going to load this up into these bays, and for the far area, the guys are doing the tile, so I don't have my path anymore. Kurt's going to take it down there with the yard max. So the compost is installed, and by the filming that, you guys have seen enough of us moving dirt. We're back with a load of the good topsoil, so we're going to get that spread on the other side. To backfill the other side and cover up this old driveway area. I'm not going to film much of this either, I don't think. I'll show you the finished product when we're done here, but let's get to it. All right, guys, we're loaded up. We're done. I think that'll be the last thing we do here for a little while. Maybe she'll have us come back to do some other landscaping in the future, but as far as the main construction outdoors that we showed up to this first meeting in February, we are done. So, we got compost gardens on this side of the breezeway. That's all cleaned up and graded out. We left enough room so that she could put mulch on top of this. She's going to be handling that. We have a 3/4 inch river rock walkway edged with curve right edging running from the apartment all the way to the house. If we come down here, we have our main stone stairway into the house. So that came out really nicely. We're actually very happy with the quality of that, so is the client. Kind of worried when we picked out, well, when she picked out those stones that we weren't gonna have enough height or it was gonna look weird, but it ended up looking good, especially with the river rock. We have one stone stepper over here just to get into the apartment. We backfilled all where the driveway used to go with new topsoil, seed and straw. I just finished watering that. We have a stone transition to the lawn so she could drive a lawnmower through here without ruining the edging. Kurt put a little bit of seed and straw down here. There's the extra stones. Down to the job from last time. So I'll link the video down below, but they've now put in a fence with a gate here. Here is everything from last time. I'm not going to go in crazy detail with this. I'll just walk you around. She did all the landscaping in here. It looks really nice. Here's the other patio. Another gate here. So that's cool. This patio overlooks the stream down there, which is really nice. It's very, very peaceful here. Even when we were working, it was really nice to sit down. We didn't even have a patio to sit on. We were just sitting on the dirt. It was nice. This leads out here to another gate and the termination of the path. We come around here, up by the house. We've got our 5 ready rock steps to bring you up to the pool. Remember, there used to be a door right where this window was, and a deck. So we actually took all that out. We didn't do the door, of course, but that's been patched up. And we have our top patio. Kurt's just applying a little bit of extra poly sand because some of these joints just take forever to take it. So we remodeled this stoop to come level with this new door. And wow, that looks good. And then this path brings you right back down to the original. I wish there was a gate here, but it's on my property, so. Oh, plus the gutter we did last time. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this project. It was kind of all over the place, a couple different sessions, but I think overall it turned out really, really nice, and I think the client is very, very happy. She brought us back for the second part, so she must be happy with the first work. But thank you for watching. If you haven't already, go check out Kurt at NK Garage. He's always playing with tools, buying, selling, doing eBay. So if you're interested in that, check him out, because he's got a video every week just like I do. And yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that if you want. If not, that's cool with me too. But I will be seeing you on the next one next Wednesday. So have a good rest of the day, guys.